Oh, what's up, everyone? Let me try to fix my lighting situation here so I don't have a glare like I did yesterday, right? Yesterday, we had some pretty good results with the live video. We were on a hotspot, so it was a little glitchy, so I apologize for that. We'll see if this one goes a little better. If it doesn't, I'll stop doing these live videos. But today, I'm going to talk about our trip to the Goodwill Outlet. Like I said yesterday, we recently got into um, really selling stuff on eBay. We started an eBay store, and it's kind of a family affair now. It is a hobby for us. And yesterday, hey, we're downtown. Why don't we go to the outlet and we'll see how it goes? The Goodwill Outlet. We'll see if we can find anything to actually. Goodness, that was my dog. I'm sure you heard that. Um, if you can't tell, I think my eye actually is getting. It doesn't look better, but I think it's getting better. I've been rubbing it. I don't know what this is. Sorry for the Cyclops looking thing. But so yesterday we went to the outlet. We learned some things. Um, Before I even get into that, today is our packing day because we're actually moving tomorrow, and that is always hectic. Always feel like I'm not doing enough, and we're always pushing it like right down to the wire. So we've actually been in Central Texas. We've been in Waco for a couple of months for the winter months, and now it's time to move on. We're ready to hit the road. Traveling is always an exciting time for us. I know it's kind of hectic because we're all in the tow vehicle. We're all in the truck. We have to pack everything up. The road actually traveling. I don't know if all men are like this, but for me, it's always just on like constant alert because I'm always worried that something's going to happen. I need to make sure that the truck is good. I need to make sure that the rig is good. I need to make sure that all my kids are good. And I'm just on the edge when we're on the road. Stephanie is actually more level-headed than me, I will say, when we're on the road. She is actually the navigator. She's telling us where to go, and she's working with like two cell phones, one in this hand and one in this hand, and she's trying to work the apps, one with the map and one with these other apps that she's using. I forgot, like Allstays app and all that stuff, making sure that we're not going to hit anything. And I think Stephanie's the opposite. Like she's always nervous, like weeks leading up to it, or at least 7 days leading up to it. Then when it actually happens, she gets level-headed, and I'm level-headed 7 days up to it happens. And then when it's time to happen, it's like, I'm just kind of on edge.
Only when we've been stationary a while.
That she said only
a couple of days we're both good.
Yeah, I'll turn this up. I wonder if they can hear you. She's not in the frame. She woke up a little while ago and hasn't fixed her hair and makeup. So she's like, "Don't put me in that frame." Okay, I'm sure you guys can relate. So what do we have to do? We have a ton to do. First of all, our new eBay and Amazon FBA adventure has been a blessing to us, but it has also left our living space in disarray, if you will. We've got stuff everywhere that we need to organize. We're new to this, so we're still getting organized. And to make matters worse, since we've been in Waco, if you're new to the channel and new to following us, first of all, if you're new to following us, if this is your first time seeing a video from us, and you are traveling or thinking about traveling full-time in an RV, and so our channels has everything to do with traveling full-time RV, how to make money on the road, or how we make money on the road, and how we organize our lives while we're on the road, where we go, how we stay. And mainly, I would say the main purpose of our channel now, where we are with our lives, hopefully we can relate to you guys, is really saving money on the road, how to make this journey affordable, and how we actually make an income enough to support us and to actually live and have the lifestyle that we want while we're on the road. So back to our rig. So while we were in Texas, we actually found a significant water damaged spot in our bedroom slide. And there's actually another video. I'll link it hopefully here or down in the description where you can see the damage that we found. And oh, look, the sun is popping up over the trees again. Let me shut this. All right, so the video is down below. You can see it in the description or up here. Hopefully it'll flash across. Hopefully I'll be able to edit that. But the damage was significant and we had some options. So we actually opted to actually take out all the furniture that was in our closet. So all the drawers, all the really nice wood stuff, we took it all out. We're like, some of the stuff is not functional anyway. So we'll build either shelves to put in there, something that works for us, or we'll get IKEA. We took up all the carpet so we could actually see the water damage, and we were going to replace the floor ourselves. Oh, my phone just went off while I'm talking to you guys. I was talking about eBay, and we just got a bid, our first bid on something. So great. It's always good when you get a bid on something that you're going to get rid of anyway. Like I was going to give this item away. I'll just tell you what it is. That's the sound you get when someone bids on an item. And I can't tell you how, like every time we hear that sound, Stephanie and I hear it, we like jump to our phones. Like it's exciting. Like, and especially, what's even more exciting, I'll have to get on here when we sell an item. When you sell an item on eBay, it goes, your phone, if you have your settings set properly, it goes cha-ching. And every time it happens, me and Stephanie just give each other a knuckle bump because it's just exciting. But this item I was going to get rid of anyway. This was, I actually got this when I had a Krav Maga facility and I had a gentleman that did BJJ or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he was a purple belt. I think it was a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is kind of mid-level, and which is difficult. A purple belt is difficult to get to. And we started rolling around a little bit in our facility. So I went ahead and I bought a really nice gi, a competition gi, which is, for you guys that don't know, it's the uniform for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Jiu-Jitsu. And well, I guess almost all martial arts have gis, with the exception to Krav Maga. We don't wear gis. But anyhow, I actually bought a really nice gi, competition style gi. I went way overboard buying this gi. Used it. I mean, it's actually heavy. It's a competition style gi, so it's heavily woven. And I was actually going to donate it. I was going to give it to a BJJ facility downtown where my kids were going. I was just going to give it to the facility, and maybe they could, pass it on to a tall, lanky guy or whatever. For you guys that don't know, I'm fairly tall. I'm 6'3", so I need a long gi, which are kind of hard to come by. They're a little bit more expensive. So I was going to give it to this place anyway, and then I realized that he doesn't actually use the same type gi that I had, the name brand. So I was like, well, why don't I just sell this on eBay since we have this new found passion for eBay. So I listed it last night, and bam, we got a bid. There you go. So, and the bid is for $22, and they have to pay shipping. So it was something that I was going to get rid of anyway, and we still have 3 more days. Actually, let's see. Maybe I didn't list it like I should have. 2 days. Yeah, we've still got 2 more days left. So already, I'm going to make at least $22 off this. They have to pay the shipping, and I'm cool with that. It was an expensive gi, but it'll find a better home with someone that can use it. Okay. Now back to our rig. So our rig has water damage. We were going to actually fix that ourselves. We're going to make a video. We're going to document Stephanie and I actually fixing the floor, the water damage, and our slide out. We looked at some videos, and hey, all you got to do is look at YouTube videos and you'll be an expert in something, right? But we actually like, hey, we can do this. But I didn't do it while I was here because I knew that we're going to be traveling soon. I had some military orders come up, and I knew that if I started on the slide and something happened, and we had to get on the road and go, we would be without a floor in that slide. And I didn't want that to happen. So we're going to wait until we get to Florida to actually fix that slide out, the floor and the slide out. But because that thing is jacked up right now, our stuff is just thrown everywhere in that slide. We got some bins from Walmart, and we put, my clothes in the bin, Stephanie's clothes in the bin. We have an underwear bin and stuff like that, but it's still just a mess back there, and we've got to straighten that up before we go. We've got to straighten up all our eBay stuff and get kind of organized. I still have to fix my generator. I put a new carburetor on my generator yesterday or a couple of days ago, cranked right up, but it's still not running exactly right, and I think it's because of a gasket that's up in there. So I've got to actually take my carburetor off again, replace the gasket, and hopefully that actually fixes everything. I think my phone went off again, like another eBay bid. Cool. Man, I'm liking that. Okay. So I think that's enough about our situation. So today, right after I get off this live video, we have to just straighten everything up and get on the road. Straighten everything up so we're ready to get on the road first thing in the morning. All right, so what we learned, the top 3 things that we learned from the Goodwill Outlet store yesterday. I've actually got some notes right here, so I'm going to be looking. Again, this was our first time going. I've heard about the outlet store, and, I've watched some YouTube videos of people who had success at the outlet store. And let me explain, the outlet store is not the retail store, and the outlet store are different, if you don't know. The retail store is a store that you go in Goodwill, and they have stuff all over the shelves that you can actually purchase and take home, right? And some of it has been cleaned up a little bit. Some of it hasn't. And Goodwill is actually taking some heat lately because their retail stores, it seems like they have a deal with a lot of box stores that if they're getting rid of stuff, they'll just take a tax, a loss on their stuff. They'll give away the stuff they can't sell to Goodwill, still packaged, and they'll just take a loss on their business for a tax reduction because they're giving away the stuff to Goodwill instead of a loss. And so lately when we've been into a Goodwill retail store, things have been packaged, and it seems like the prices in the Goodwill retail stores are not that great. Like you could go into Target and find stuff almost the same price as the Goodwill Outlet. The Goodwill retail. However, the Goodwill Outlet is different. The Goodwill Outlet is where the trucks pull in and they unload the trucks or whatever, you can go donate to Goodwill in these little boxes. They put the boxes in a truck. The truck is shipped to drives to an outlet store. They unload the truck, and then they separate everything into bins. All right. And all they do is they pour it in bins. These little bins, like they have hinges on them and they dump out. Right. So the outlet store has sections with bins in them. And so it's kind of just like for the picking. It is fresh, right off the truck. So you never know what you're going to get. And when you go into an outlet store, they have lines. They usually have lines, like these yellow lines. You have to stand behind the lines while they're dumping the stuff. And it's almost like a clock, a countdown, 3, 2, 1, go. And then you can cross the line. And it is all the stuff that people have donated, and they have sectioned it off the best they can into these bins. So it's piles of stuff that people have donated. And sometimes there's junk. Actually, I take that back. It's not sometimes. It's a lot of times it's junk. We'll get into that later. So that's pretty much the outlet. So you can imagine kind of the feel. It's kind of like a big garage with cute. And when I say bins, I mean these bins are on carts. I'm talking they're probably about 10 foot by 4 foot of just stuff in these bins, right? So the number one thing that we learned about going to a Goodwill outlet yesterday was take gloves, wear gloves, like your latex gloves. I got to tell you, I didn't see anybody else there wearing gloves, but when I was digging through this stuff, I'm letting you know that I felt gross. Like I felt like I would be touching stuff that was like had like a liquid feel to it. Like some of the stuff was like had moisture to it. And I actually put my hand on something that had ink all over it, like an ink pen busted all over. So actually, it's right here. That right here, if you can see it, those black spots, that's ink from yesterday. So I will let you know it was a little icky. So first thing is first, take gloves, latex gloves, like medical grade gloves or whatever. If you're going to go there, I would say you could use just your. Actually, you might want to do that too. I will tell you, I picked up it grossed me out a little bit, or at least it grossed Stephanie out a little bit. Yesterday, I picked up sorry, I'm trying to fix the sun here, the glare. I picked up a blood sugar tester, if you will. And it's where you prick your finger and you stick it in the machine and it tells you, what your blood sugar is. Usually type 2 diabetics have those. Well, I picked one up yesterday and I was like, I wonder if you could sell this. And Stephanie was a little grossed out. She was like, put that back right now. Man, I'm sorry about the glare. I don't know how I can fix that right now. Trying. Maybe I can get close, but if I get closer, then you like see my pink eye or whatever, and that'd be gross. All right. So number one, wear gloves when you go to the outlet. All right. You might be asking, I know this video is kind of all over the place. Why would you even go to the Goodwill Outlet instead of the retail store? Well, like I said, the Goodwill Outlet is kind of like just raw stuff. It's right off the truck and they put it there. And you can find some good stuff, which we did yesterday. The only problem is you've got to dig through a whole lot of stuff to find good stuff to actually list on eBay. And in doing that, you go through a lot of just gunk and just icky stuff. So next time we go to an outlet, we will have gloves on. And usually the good thing is usually people that with RVs usually have those gloves. Because why? Because we're dumping poo pipes outside, right? We're dumping our black tanks. So usually we actually have those gloves. So that's good. Another reason why RVers should be selling on eBay, right? All right. So number two, the second thing we learned, I didn't realize this, but when you buy electronics, you might find good electronics or what seem to be good electronics at the outlet because people dump stuff all the time. And I'm going to show you what we picked up here in a second. We didn't realize it, but it's kind of a gamble. When you pick up an electronic, you don't get to plug it in, or at least at this particular outlet. Maybe it's different at other outlets. And if we find that to be so, we'll make another video to kind of clarify. But you weren't allowed, they didn't have like plugins to plug in to see if stuff worked before you bought it. You actually had to buy it and you're taking a gamble. Oh, I got to swig some of my coffee. So found out that some electronics, some old electronics that people give away, they actually go for pretty good money on eBay. So for instance, like we picked up this Blu-ray player yesterday. It's a Samsung Blu-ray player. And it has Wi-Fi capability. Now, this was all the electronics. I guess if it's a DVD player or something like that, they had a pricing list, but honestly, I didn't even look at it. We paid $4 for this, maybe $4.25. Can't remember, but it was around $4. And we also paid $4 for another machine. Let me tell you this. The reason why I like this, it kind of fits into our eBay strategy, is because this is very light. So it's easy to ship. It doesn't cost much to ship. Now, the buyer's going to be paying shipping anyway, but the less that they have to pay, the more likely are that they're going to actually buy the unit. So, and we also picked up another electronic. Now, this is a brick. This thing is heavy. But the caveat, I thought I'd give it a shot because we actually researched. I'll show you how to do that here in just a second on eBay. And these things were selling pretty good. This is a DVD combo. And it seems like they're actually selling pretty well on eBay. So we picked it up. The problem is, these tape decks or the cassette decks, the VHS decks, sometimes they go bad and you're not allowed to try it out while you're at the outlet. And I didn't like that, but let's face it, these things are selling Like the Blu-ray player is selling consistently on eBay for around $45. Sometimes even more if you have the remote. And the VHS DVD combo, one of them had a remote and it sold for $100 just a couple of days ago. And I paid $4 for it. So it was a gamble. The good news is I brought it home and plugged it in and they both work. So good. That's good. Actually, I didn't check the VHS player, but we'll check that later. For all intents and purposes, it seems like it's working. We actually picked up some other stuff too. We picked up a lot of video games. There were a lot of video games that were actually selling well on eBay, and games you can actually ship as media, so it doesn't cost much to ship. So sometimes you can list them. The shipping is free, so free shipping. Let's see here. All right, so electronics are a gamble. You never know if they're going to work or not until you get them home. And number 3, what I learned is, so we have 3 kids. If you don't know, we have an 8-year-old boy, 6-year-old boy, and a 3, almost 4-year-old girl. Our little girl, who we miss very much right now, is actually staying with her grandparents, my in-laws right now. She was sick a couple of weeks ago. She didn't get a chance to spend a week with her grandparents. So it's just her and her grandma's week, right? And she's having a ball, by the way. She's getting spoiled rotten. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be great when she gets back. But we do miss our girl. And so yesterday we had our 2 boys. One of our boys is really into eBay now. He started his own store and he wants to do this with us. And that was part of my video yesterday that I made. He's really into this eBay thing. He wants to make his own money. And he really got motivated because he made his first sale a couple of days ago. He made $10.50 on eBay. And it motivated him to do it again. So he's digging through stuff. And again, I told you this stuff is kind of gross, even for adults. You need gloves on. So it was really kind of hard to watch our kid, although we were happy that he wanted to do this. It was hard watching our kid like dig through this stuff without gloves on. And we were just like, I don't know, buddy. Not only that, but our youngest boy, our 6-year-old boy, he's not really into the eBay thing. And, he's trying to look for stuff for himself. And we constantly have to, keep an eye on him. So the number 3 thing we learned was it's probably not a place, the Goodwill Outlet is probably not a place to take all of your kids. It's a place to take the kids that are old enough and interested enough in eBay to take. So if you have kids that want to help you out with this and that are looking forward to doing this and that are mature enough to go into an outlet, then it's a place to go. But I probably, it wasn't really a place to take my 6-year-old boy. My 8-year-old boy would have been fine. But, the 6-year-old boy wanted to show off some, and he, was trying to get his brother involved and hitting him with stuff. And we look around at one time, and my 6-year-old boy has got his mouth on like a DVD or something. And we were just kind of, oh man, we were grossed out. So keep that in mind. So the 3 things that we learned yesterday were, 1, always take gloves, your medical grade gloves. And most RVers have them because we're always, once a week we have to dump our gray tanks and our black tanks. So if you don't have those gloves, you should have those anyway. That can be a separate video. Number 2, electronics were a gamble at this particular Goodwill Outlet. This is the one that was in Waco, or right outside Waco. I don't know the geography and where everything is around here. My wife could tell you. And number 2, actually I just said that, electronics were a gamble. And number 3, probably not a place to take all of your kids. This is a place where you want to take kids that are interested in, because kids in there, they're going to be searching. They're going to find stuff that looks cool. They want to bring in your RV. It's dirty. You're going to have to worry about them getting sick and touching stuff. And they're going to find toys that they want to bring back. If you want to bring back toys, then you can do it as the parent, but it's probably not a place to take younger kids. Was a place for my 8-year-old, probably not a good place for my 6-year-old, because that's exactly what he did. He found like lightsabers, Star Wars lightsabers started hitting people. Well, not really hitting people, but because we wouldn't allow that. But he was playing with it, and we're trying to find items to sell, and he's trying to find items as a toy, and we have to constantly keep an eye on him, what we're doing. Anyhow, not a place for all your kids. And that's really all I got. Those are the three things we learned from the Goodwill Outlet. I will kind of tell you this: we're going to be on the road tomorrow and the next day, so I probably won't be making any videos. But this eBay thing has been so easy for us. It's really hard for me not to try to push it on people that are trying to do this lifestyle. We still have, embarrassingly seeing enough, I guess we have a little credit card debt. Actually, we have a lot more than we want. And this eBay store has been great for us because that money just goes into paying that credit card, and we actually use it to fund, our activities with the kids. So we're not coming out of our main source of income. So it's been great for us. So if you are a full-time traveler and you are not wealthy, if you are trying to figure out how to make this work on your way and you want an easier way to make this work, or maybe just some extra income, I got to say, this has been really easy for us. We're actually building our website right now. So if you didn't know, our website is freedomcallingrv.com. And it should be up and running in a couple of days, but you can still go there and check it out. I think it's some stuff on there that you could actually opt into if you wanted to, but I'm not going to push that at all. So that's really all I have. 3 things we learned from the Goodwill Outlet. And if you have any questions, again, please feel free to leave your comments below and we'll get back with you, actually probably within the hour. And if there's anything you'd like to see on this channel, then please comment below, let us know. And if anyone could use this, as far as if anyone is thinking about starting an eBay store, or if you've heard of anyone, they want this lifestyle, they just don't know how to fund it, then please share this with them. And, hopefully we can help them out as well. So we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And I'm Derek Wright from freedomcallingrv.com. Take care.